About 2 years ago, I was living the life that I had constructed, and I was seeing it fall apart right in front of my eyes. And I was getting signs from the Most High that my life was falling apart. I had the woman, I had the car, I had the money, I had the autonomy over my life externally. I had, from the outside, it seemed as I had it all. I had the business, which allowed me the time. But I was a man with a shaky foundation. I was only 20 years old. Yeah, 20 years old at the time. And 2 years later, almost about 2 years later, I'm reflecting on how I got to where I'm at right now. Because now I'm back to a similar point, just besides without a business. Back to a similar point. And what I will say is that for a long time, I was very afraid to get back to this point where I had, everything external, you know. Right now I have a potential woman, moving into my own place, with the brother. I have a new car, new truck. Everything is on the up and up. I'm not out here proving myself no more. I'm not out here, you know, in survival mode. I'm genuinely thriving, and all I could say is all praises to the Most High that things are aligning the way they should be. And I just realized this recently that I was thriving, and it took me, like I said, almost 2 years to get to where I'm at right now. And of course, I haven't, accomplished everything I want to accomplish, but in my reflection, I was sitting here and wondering, what did it take for me to get to this point? How did I become a man who dominates his mind, his body, and his spirit to where the Lord will reward him to be able to handle more responsibility? It did take a lot of prayer to get to this point, but let's talk about like the practical things today in this video. How did I make discipline my natural state to become a man who's dominant? First of all, something that I had to learn the hard way was that I had to learn gratefulness by losing the life that I had constructed. I was 20 years old. I had always, a great amount of faith in the Most High, but I also had a great amount of faith in myself, a great amount of self belief. And I used to move with no urgency to grow. And that's the first thing I would say is complacency really is a bitch. Like if you're someone that has, you know, things in the physical world, don't take them for granted because just as the Most High showed me, He could take them away. Especially if you're moving arrogantly. And that's not even necessarily in your heart where you're prideful, but it could be the way that you take care of those things, the way that you take care of yourself. Because the first thing that He gives us is our bodies. And that's something I took advantage of. I had no dominion over my body. I let myself get fat, 230 pounds. I'm about 170 pounds right now, 175 pounds. I let myself get fat. I let myself to have horrible eating habits. I would wake up whenever, like, like I had no routine at all. I had no structure. I was living very disorganized, very chaotic, and I was very lazy. I had lost my hunger to grow. I had lost my desire to win because I had tasted some success, not even the success that I wanted to. And I had let pride and ego inflate myself. Complacency and comfort is something that you always have to look out for, because as you set a direction to a major goal, and you rack up these small wins, complacency and comfort will sneak in and try to rob you of your glory. You know, I was directionless. It's not that I didn't know where I didn't want to go to, but I wasn't willing to put in the work. And that's something I had to learn too, is like, you have to be willing to go through hell. You have to be willing to go through adversity, even after you see success, you know, because then the Most High will put you in hell rather than you put yourself through the furnace of adversity, through hell, to get to where you want to get to, you know. And it's really like we have to embody a mindset of a winner and a domineer. And this is not exalting yourself powerfully over other people, but dominating yourself first. And that's what I had to learn. That's what I had to learn was I had the mind, but I let fears and anxiety and overthinking dominate me. And, you know, now looking back, I'm grateful for those times because it showed me exactly, like the Lord showed me exactly how to overcome these things, how to become a man who has self governance. Because now I'm at a point where discipline is just my natural state. I don't have to force anything. You know, I don't have to force myself to go to the gym. I love the gym. I don't have to force myself to journal to become a better man. I love journaling. I don't have to force growth. I just grow because I love to become better. Because I lived a life where I've lost and I beat myself up for so long for letting myself to lose the life I had constructed, but it was for my betterment. So I could learn what it's like to really be grateful and move urgently, not move in fear, because that's another thing, you know, but that's a topic for another day. And you know, being back at this point, I could see the difference because I was doing it as a man that had no order, no control, no structure. And now I'm a man who's finally stabilizing, who's stable, but has built the inner garden to dominate his life, to bend his reality, because I submit to God first. I submit to his order, which makes everything easier for me. You know, you gotta be someone who always wants to grow, always wants more, and you have to see yourself as someone who is worth it. That's what I had lost. Like, I had all these great ideas, and I just didn't see myself as worth it. Subconsciously, sometimes it's not even like a conscious thing. It's just that there's mental blocks that you have in your head that cause you to procrastinate, cause you to hold yourself back. You just don't see yourself as worth it. And that's the truth. Like, you don't see yourself as a man who deserves the life he thinks he wants or he says he wants. Because if you did, you would move towards those actions every day. You know, another thing, like, I had to realize, like, embarking on this journey of becoming the man I am today, was I had to remove my ego. Like, the Lord purged my ego out of me. You know, first of all, killing off perfectionism, waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't fucking exist. Even the scriptures will tell you that. In Ecclesiastes, around the 12th chapter, like, you you looking for a moment that does not exist, and you have to take the mind of a creator and make that moment, create that moment. We as men have so much power to initiate, to create, to cultivate, to build, to rule, but we wait. We're not women. Women wait. Women attract us and we go after them. But now we've become so lazy and comfortable letting them choose us, not having any type of rulership over our own life. We don't know what the fuck we want. You want money, but why? Because you think it's gonna make you feel better? The only thing that's gonna make you feel better is you actually becoming the man who could handle these things. You want the lifestyle of a rich man, but you're not willing to become that man who could actually handle it. You know? To become like where I truly am at right now, too, I had to stop lying to myself. I had to admit my fears to God. I had to admit my fears to myself. Like, I had fears of being rejected by people. I had fears of being seen. I had fears of being misunderstood. I had fear, of getting fucked over by women. And I still deal with that to this day. But at least I'm able to admit it because now I'm able to work in it. You have to build that awareness within yourself, like to face your fears, like to really, you really want the life that you think you want or you say you want. Face your fears. Face that false reality, that lie that dwells inside of you that says you can't do it. Because there's really the word I like can't, it just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Like there's no I can't. And I stopped using that word. I'll say I'm not able to at this moment, or but I can't. Like that shit is a toxic. It's poison. The whole point of this video though is everything starts within. Everything starts within. Like you submit to God within, and then you start building yourself up, creating routines that are gonna help you succeed, removing yourself from environments that are holding you back, letting go of old habits that are holding you back, you know, letting go of people that are holding you back, that are disrespecting you, that are making you feel worse, putting yourself in environments where you're going to be pushed to grow. These are all things that I had to do. Like, the Most High took away the woman from me. She wasn't the best. She was a great woman. There was a lot of disrespect that happened. Let's just be, like, I'm going to keep it a buck. The business, it was good for a season, but it didn't serve me no more. I had to let go of that too. And that opened up so much more money for me to invest in myself. But I did, I don't want to say, I can't even tell you like I did the best I can because I'd be lying. But I think I damn did sure near my best. And it eats away at me that I didn't do the best that I could. And the way I think, like I have a conqueror mindset. Like it shit feels like shit left undone, but it is what it is. I'm building something different now. I have a different vision. But just reflecting, I really had to get my routine in order. I started waking up early, you know, um, 5:30, 6 o'clock, going to work early. That's where I started. But now I'm at a point where, I wake up at 4:30. Between 4 to 4:30, I shower, I get ready, I read the scriptures. Sometimes I journal, and I go to the gym. Start the day off with, spiritually grounding yourself, prayer, and then going to dominate your body, doing it on an empty stomach, without food. That way you could say to your body and your mind, like, see what we're able to do. We don't, we, food doesn't have power over us. That's a big problem too. Like, um, many people use external stimulants, TV, drugs, alcohol, work to cope with the fact that they're not happy with themselves. You have to tell yourself the truth, and even in those aspects, like when you're setting a goal, when you're setting a direction for your life, why do you want what you want? A lot of men, they want a certain lifestyle so they could attract the woman. Like, why? Do shit that's gonna make you happy. The Lord created you as a man to have dominion over everything on this planet, and you're gonna sacrifice your life for a woman, like your lifestyle for a woman, for women. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. There's so much, cat out here that you'll find one along the way. And it's something that I even had a battle with. It's something that all men go through, but it's also like moving out of that m- mindset of scarcity where there's only one a woman of this type, or there's only one job like this, or there's only one opportunity like this. There's nothing else. Like, no, it's like the Most High made multiple things for a reason, copies of things too. So we always have options as men, but all of us are different. And when we accept that we are all different, you have your own gifts, I have my own gifts. Together we could share them and make each other better. You know, that's something I had to realize too, was like my own power that the Lord gave me, like, my own gifts, and to stop like hiding them from the world, and letting my light shine before men, and willingly expressing myself and showing the mind that he gave me and showing the gifts that I have been given. That's a beautiful thing. That's a powerful thing. That you do yourself a disservice, you do this world a disservice when you hold back who you really are. And you don't have to be perfect right away. It took me 2 years, or like almost 2 years, to get to this point, you know? And I'm still growing each and every day. I'm not the same person. I won't be the same person I am today, tomorrow, or in a week, or in 2 or 3, and especially not in a month, you know? But I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I want to share that. Um, it takes a long time to become the man that you say you want to become, but if you do the daily steps each and every day, you make your mind submit, your body submit, your spirit submit, having control over your emotions, doing shit when you don't want to do it, creating routines that are going to help you succeed, looking at yourself as someone of royalty, someone who deserves better in life, someone that understands the Lord gave us men dominion. He gave man control over the earth, domination over the earth, over, women, children, animals, and you do yourself a disservice when you don't walk in this power, when you don't walk in that belief. You actually make society worse. It's time that we take our power back as men. And a lot of us, we deal with those self-sabotage tendencies where we procrastinate, or give yourself grace, don't beat yourself up, talk to yourself, like, you got this, you got this. But there's sometimes too, your self-talk in your mind, it has to be strong. You fucking bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you acting that way? But then, celebrate yourself too. Just a small little reflection today. I hope everything is well with y'all. Peace.